Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're returning. If you can't tell, today's my birthday. I just want to thank you all for coming and sharing this special day with me today. And today I have an amazing birthday collab with three of my most favorite crafters. These ladies are so talented. And today I have Savannah with Savvy Crafts with Savannah, Shayna with Robinson Repurposing, and Emily with Farm Charm Chic joining me for my birthday. I could not ask for a better birthday present than this, y'all. I was just blown away when I asked and they all agreed. Y'all, these people are just, all three of them are just amazing. I can't say that enough. So make sure when you're finished with my video, you follow each of their channels. Go down, I'll have each of their channels listed in the description box. Make sure you go to each of their channels, watch their video. And if you're not subscribed to them, subscribe, y'all. I promise you will not be disappointed. All three of these ladies do Farmhouse Decor, and the items that they make, I can't get over it. They inspire me every single day. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love if you would become part of my YouTube family. If y'all aren't subscribed, I would so appreciate it if you would. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much. Y'all are amazing, and you guys are why I keep doing these videos. So I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I hope you all enjoy this. This is just some Farmhouse everyday decor. Not wait to see what the other ladies have brought to the table. So when you all visit one of the other ladies or all of the other ladies, please make sure you tell them that Missy from Crafty Coke sent you. Thank you all again. Let's get into the DIYs. DIY number 1. So I've been seeing these like scroll signs all over the place online, and I'm absolutely in love with them. And I decided I wanted to try my take on one of these. So I'm making this one for my mom for Mother's Day, which I already told her, so this isn't ruining the surprise at all. So I just go to the Dollar Tree and grab a roll of the crafting paper, the brown crafting paper, and I roll it out to about the size I want, and then I leave about 2 or 3 inches on each side past what I want. Does that make sense, y'all? And then I just cut it down. Y'all, you know I cannot cut a straight line. Look at that jagged edge. But I'm not worried about it because we're going to roll it up anyway, and you're never even going to see that line. So what I do is I go to the end and I roll it up 4 or 5 times, and then I use just a dab of hot glue there on the end to glue it together. And I do the same exact thing on the other side. You know, it's already rolled up, and we're going to glue it on the other side also. And then we're going to take some hot glue, and we are going to put some right down the middle there just to give it a little more firmer hold to make sure that this is going to stay rolled up and not come apart. And then I take 2 of these square dowels from, I believe these are from Home Depot. And I'm going to measure these right now and cut these down. Y'all, for my birthday, my husband got me a mini miter saw. Unfortunately, I didn't have it when I was filming this video, so I had to cut these boards down with my little box saw thing that I have that I got from Home Depot. And I love that thing, but oh my goodness, y'all, the mini miter saw. If you don't have it, go get it. Harbor Freight, that's where I got mine. You can also get them on Amazon. And thank you to Melissa from All Things Crafty for introducing me to it because I love it. But anyway, back to the DIY. So I just paint these dowel rods with Waverley chalk paint and ink. And then I'm going to stick it right down in there on that edge where it's rolled up. I did get a little bit of hot glue on there on the paper part, but it came right off, so I was totally not worried about that. And I'm doing that on each end, the top and the bottom. And this is just going to give us a little bit more of a secure hold, and it's going to keep that paper from trying to roll back up on itself. We do the same exact thing down at the bottom. We've rolled it up a little bit more, and then we put our dowel rod on there. I guess they're called dowel rods if they're square. I'm not really sure. But anyway, now we're going to take some of this jute cord from Walmart because this is a thicker jute. And we're just going to run it through the middle here up at the top, and we're making our hanger for our sign. So I just run it through the middle. It's not hard to do. You just have to push it in there to make sure that it's going to come out the other side. And then I just hold it up so that I can get it out the other side. Again, not hard at all, y'all. And this basically cost me $1 because I already had the vinyl that I'm going to use. I already had everything else, and I think this turns out so adorable. So once we get our jute cord through there, we are just going to tie like 3 or 4 little knots just to make sure that this is good and secure and it's not going to come apart and come back out of the tube. So after I get that good and knotted up, I just cut off the excess, and we are going to slide it through this tube so that the knot is actually inside the tube and you are not seeing it from the top of the, I'm going to call this a sign, I guess, or a wall hanging. But then I just take a little dab of hot glue and burn my finger to pieces right there. You can see me jerking it out of there. And just kind of glue that jute to the paper on the inside a little bit. Now, I'm going to put a decal on here made from my Cricut. And I was afraid if I did not put Mod Podge on here that when I stuck my transfer tape down, it would totally rip this paper. So the solution to that for me was just to cover this thing with Mod Podge. It's a very messy coat, but y'all, when it dries, it is completely clear. So don't get all alarmed here. It is totally not going to look like this. But I just do this entire front surface with the Mod Podge. Again, just to make sure when I stick my Cricut decal down that it is not going to rip my paper. So here we've got it all Mod Podged, and again, you can see it dried clear, no big deal. This was a pretty big decal, so I had to cut it in different pieces to get it all on here because I don't have a big enough Cricut mat for as big as I want this. So I'm just showing you here real quick, putting this decal on the transfer tape. Super, super easy, y'all. Just take your time. If something doesn't want to stick, again, I've told you, you just stick it back down and rub over it, and it will eventually stick. It's not hard. So many people are intimidated by the Cricut, which I was also until I actually started using it, and now I love it. So we're just going to put this on our transfer tape. I do the top, which says, "As for me and my house," and the bottom, which says "Lord," first. That way I can try and get my middle words pretty even, but y'all know how I am. You can see, I mean, it's sticking to that, but I had to pull it back up, and it did not pull up one piece of that paper. So I'm glad I did the Mod Podge. But anyway, y'all know how I am. I am centering illiterate is what I'm going to call it. I can never get things exactly how I want them, but that's okay with me because I wasn't going for perfection here. I love, absolutely love how this turned out. And it just says, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." And I just take your time pulling this transfer tape off. I got a little quick there and had to calm myself down because it will try to take up some of your letters if you don't watch it. So again, just take your time, peel this transfer tape off, and it comes off, and it did not rip that paper at all. So, and maybe it wouldn't have if I would have not done the Mod Podge, but I was afraid to take that chance. Yeah, it was only $1, but I had it in my mind what I wanted, and I just wanted to get this done. I knew I wanted to do this as my birthday project and for my mom. So, I wanted to do that Mod Podge. Now I'm taking more Mod Podge, and I am going to go over all of these letters because, again, this is just vinyl. I didn't want this to come off or peel up or anything like that. So we're just going to go through and Mod Podge our letters down. Then we're going to take some of this, this greenery. I got it from the Dollar Tree. It's like a vine, but it's on, I don't know. Y'all can see what it is right there. And we are going to glue this to our dowel rods because we're kind of trying to make some greenery on this. We just don't want it to be plain. And again, just hot glue. And this is held up really, really well. So I'm not worried about the hold because, like I said, it's held up. I do the same thing to the top and the bottom, and then I do put some more greenery in there, but I had to hang it up in order to put that greenery in there, so that's why you're not seeing that footage. And y'all, this is what it turns out like. $1. I mean, I look at it and honestly, I can't even believe that I made it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I've already showed it to my mom and she loves it. So I'm so excited about it. Again, don't forget, today is a collaboration for my birthday. Make sure you go visit these other ladies. And y'all, don't forget to go visit Savannah, Shayna, and Emily on their channels. Make sure you subscribe to each and every one of them. These ladies are amazing and I love their styles. They all do farmhouse decor and then other things also. So make sure that you go by and visit them. Let them know Missy from Crafty Co sent you. Subscribe to their channels. You will not be disappointed. Okay, y'all, moving right along. DIY number 2. So I wanted to make some faux windows, and I went to the Home Depot and got 4 yardsticks. And then I also have some leftover paint sticks that I used for other projects at different sizes that we're going to use. And we're also going to use the long skewer sticks from the Dollar Tree, bamboo skewers, and a piece of the garden fencing. Now, the first thing I do is with these yardsticks, first of all, they're orange. The lettering's orange. And they kind of like stand up a little bit, like the letters. So I went through and just sanded down all 4 of these really, really well. And then I give all 4 3 good coats of Waverley chalk paint. No. I'm sorry, not Waverley this time. I don't remember what kind of chalk paint it is, but it is chalk paint, and I just go through and do 3 really good coats. That way it can really cover that orange and any spots that are raised. Then we take our garden fencing and we are just going to cut off the little legs, the sides, and cut it right down the middle to make 2 sections. So now that we've got our 2 sections, we're just going to take the same chalk paint and paint the front of both of these pieces. Y'all know I would love to use spray paint, but again, in a hotel, and that's not possible for me. I do 2 good coats on the fronts, excuse me, and 1 coat on the back. Now we're going to take our stir sticks, and we are going to do 2 good coats of the chalk paint on these also, fronts, backs, sides, and the ends. Okay, now it's time to start putting our window together. So I cut down my paint stir sticks to the length, or to the length, I don't know, of the section of garden fencing. And I just used hot glue on this one, but then I go back and use E6000 and hot glue just to have a better hold. And I just glue that to one of the paint stir sticks. Now I'm taking my yardsticks and I'm figuring out the placement of those, and I'm going to stick those down with E6000 and hot glue. I just put a little bit of E6000 and then a glob of hot glue right in the middle. And we do go through it later and use our stapler just to give this a little bit better hold. So now we're putting our hot glue on there. Again, I just want to thank all of you who are my subscribers. Y'all mean the world to me. I didn't know when I started this YouTube journey if I would get 1 subscriber. And now I'm well over 500. And I'm so thankful for that. So y'all know me, and you know that I'm not very organized. At first I thought I wanted this window to be as long as the yardsticks, but that was just way too long for me. So I have to go ahead and cut down my yardsticks after I've got some of the gluing already done. So I do this to the 2 that are on the one that we're working on now. But then before I start gluing on the second one, I go ahead and get those yardsticks cut down. So now we are starting on our second piece. And we're doing the exact same thing, y'all. We're just using E6000, hot glue, and some staples. And we do the top and the bottom piece. And on the top, we just go ahead and secure our section of garden fencing to it. Okay, I'm not sure where my footage went. Y'all know how my iPad loves to eat footage. But at some point, I did stain my skewer sticks with antique Waverley wax. And I just lost that footage. Here, I'm just kind of figuring out exactly where I want them. And these are long, so I'm going to have to cut them down. And I just use a little pair of snips. I mark them and use a pair of snips. Now, I will tell you that all of these skewer sticks are not straight. Some of them are bowed in the middle, so you kind of got to go through your package and find the straightest piece that you can. I thought it wouldn't matter, that I could like straighten them up with the glue and everything, but no, that did not work. So go through and try to find the straightest pieces you can. I do one for the center, and then I cut 2 more pieces for the insides of the window, and I do this 4 times because again, I am making 2 windows. And all I'm using to secure these down is E6000 and hot glue. You know, it's a great hold. I've not had any trouble with it at all. I do use gobs of hot glue, y'all. But you're not going to see the back. I'm not worried about it. This is going up in my own home. So if anybody takes my windows off of my wall and looks on the back, I'm not so sure I want them in my house, y'all. I'm just kidding. Maybe. But anyway, just a lot of hot glue is all we're doing here. And then we are taking the center ones. And this one I cut so perfectly that I didn't even have to use hot glue on it. It just stuck right in there and I had no problems. Didn't use any glue or anything else. But the second one I got a little short, so I did go ahead and put a little dab of hot glue on either side of the shorter skewer stick. Y'all, is that what those are called? Here I am saying it like 50 million times and I'm not even positive of that. But anyway, I put a little bit of hot glue on there. We get it stuck in there. And then I go ahead and put a little dab of hot glue on each of the smaller pieces just to secure that larger piece to those. Now I'm just going to take some antique Waverly wax. I'm going to brush it on with my chippy brush, and then I wipe it off with a baby wipe, and that's what makes it like the dingy look. That's what I wanted. That's what I was going for. And then I just take my Waverly wax and antique and go through and distress the edges just a little bit more, and we do the same exact thing on each of our windows. And don't forget to distress your garden fencing also. Then I made these little swags just to put up at the top. Y'all, these are adorable. So simple. Maybe $2 to make for the set. I love how they turned out. DIY number 3. We're going to make another large sign. Only this time I went to, can't remember if I got it at Lowe's or Home Depot, and got like this little, it's not little, y'all, it's pretty big, piece of paneling maybe. I don't even, let's see if I can read what that says. Probably not. Wainscot panel, and it's a 32 inch by 24 inch, and we do not cut this down at all, and this thing only cost me $5. So we are getting a high-end farmhouse look for less than $10 and a huge sign. I just take my antique Waverly wax, paint it on, wipe it off again with my baby wipe. I just want that dingy look. And look, after 3 coats, y'all do it however you want. You know, get it as dark or as light as you want. It doesn't really matter. It's your choice. And then I take some of the thinner square dowel rods, and we are staining those with the Waverly wax in antique, because these are going to be our border, like our frame. Then I just measure them out, cut them down, and now all I'm doing, y'all, is gluing them on. I tried not to get too much wax on the side that I knew I was going to glue, because the wax and the hot glue do not mix well together. So I got as little as I could. I'm just gluing these all the way around the edges, and then I'm going through with my staple gun, and I am going to reinforce with some staples. Then again, I used my Cricut and made a huge decal. And I'm doing the same thing I did with the first wall hanging. I'm doing the top and the bottom first. That way I can kind of space my middle parts, my middle words and things as well as I can. I wish I'd have went a little higher on some of my words, but you know, I'm in love with it anyway. Had to stand up here because I'm very short and I couldn't reach across the table to get my transfer tape off. But again, y'all, just take your time when you do this. This is a little bit tricky because the middle parts of this piece of wood are raised a little bit, so sometimes they don't want to stick, but I do get them all to stick. And then we put our middle on. See, that's what I'm talking about. I wish I would have went up just a little with the chicken, but I'm totally not worried about it. It turns out so cute. Then I take my finger sander, I go through and just sand these letters because I do not want them to have a real crisp look when the rest of the sign is distressed. Then we're going to take our Mod Podge, go completely over this entire sign. Again, you know, over time, vinyl can peel, and I did not want that. So the Mod Podge is going to help that. And that is it. Under $10 for this huge 32 by 24 inch sign, y'all. Look at that. I absolutely love how this turned out. Isn't that not gorgeous? And here it is with my little windows. I just love each and every project in this video. Thank y'all so much for spending my birthday with me. It has meant the world to me. And thank you so much, Shayna, Savannah, and Emily. Y'all are amazing. Thank you, guys. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Y'all come back now. You hear?